On the night of May 24th, 2020, in the quiet city of Layton, Utah, a horrifying and senseless tragedy unfolded, one that would shake the local community and spark national outrage. Ashlyn Black, a vibrant, kind-hearted 25-year-old woman, became the victim of an unthinkable act of violence. Her murder wasn't just brutal, it was chilling in its cold execution and disturbing in its aftermath. Ashlyn had gone out that night with the innocent hope of meeting someone new. Instead, she walked into the lair of a deeply disturbed individual, Ethan Hunsaker, who would end her life just hours after meeting her. Ashlyn met Ethan through the dating app Tinder, a platform widely used by young people to connect, date, or simply explore companionship. The conversation between them appeared normal enough for Ashlyn to agree to meet in person. She visited Ethan's home later that evening. From the outside, it seemed like just another casual hookup, something countless people do every day. No one could have predicted what would come next. According to police reports and court testimony, within just a few hours of meeting, Hunsaker did the unthinkable. In the early hours of the morning, while Ashlyn lay asleep or possibly resting peacefully beside him, he brutally attacked her. He strangled her with his bare hands and used a knife to slit her throat. By the time police arrived, summoned by Hunsaker himself, it was too late. Ashlyn was found lying on the floor in a pool of blood, her life violently stolen from her. What was particularly disturbing and perplexing was what Hunsaker did immediately afterward. At 3:19 a.m., he called 911 and calmly confessed to the crime.
We have a male on the line saying he wants to die and that he killed someone. He doesn't know who he has killed, but that it occurred at that address.
My suspect wants us to shoot him. Blood on the floor, looks unconscious, not moving.
He told dispatchers he had killed someone he had just met and invited officers to come and arrest him. When police arrived, he was cooperative, even eerily calm. He was taken into custody without incident. The scene that officers discovered was horrifying. Ashlyn's body bore the gruesome evidence of a sustained, violent attack. The brutality was not just physical, it was symbolic of a deeper, more troubling pathology. The motives behind the crime would soon come under scrutiny. Hunsaker told police that he had no argument with Ashlyn. She did nothing to provoke him. In fact, he admitted that she had done absolutely nothing wrong. His only explanation was that he had a sudden impulse to kill her. In his own words, he claimed he wanted to kill someone and that he chose Ashlyn because she was available. This lack of motive, this purely senseless violence, was perhaps the most terrifying aspect of all. It was random. It could have been anyone. The legal proceedings that followed would uncover even more disturbing details about Hunsaker's mental state. His defense team pointed to his long history of mental illness, including diagnoses of borderline personality disorder, depression, and other conditions. He had been in and out of psychiatric care and had expressed suicidal thoughts in the past. However, questions remained. If he was truly mentally ill, why was he not institutionalized? Why was he able to use dating apps and bring innocent people into his home? And if he was aware enough to call 911 and confess, was he truly detached from reality or simply evil? Ashlyn's family, meanwhile, was left shattered. She was described as a warm, generous, and joyful person who lit up every room she walked into. Her parents, friends, and community members were devastated not only by her death, but by the way it happened. The randomness, the senselessness, and the sheer brutality made the grief even more unbearable. In interviews and public statements, her family emphasized that Ashlyn had trusted someone she thought was safe. They wanted to honor her memory by advocating for better mental health awareness and stronger safeguards in dating platforms. The public reaction to Ashlyn's murder was swift and impassioned. Social media erupted in outrage. People were horrified that something so barbaric could happen in a modern, relatively peaceful city like Layton. Women especially expressed fear and anger, sharing stories of uncomfortable or unsafe experiences they'd had on dating apps. The case sparked renewed conversations about digital safety, consent, and the risks of meeting strangers. Ashlyn's story became a tragic symbol, a stark reminder of the real danger that still lurk in our society, even when technology is supposed to make connections safer. As the legal system moved forward, prosecutors charged Hunsaker with first-degree murder. They rejected any attempt to plead down to lesser charges. They argued that his actions were deliberate and premeditated, even if he claimed insanity or mental instability. They emphasized that he had called 911 not out of guilt, but because he wanted to be caught. This raised serious concerns about the failure of the mental health and legal systems to prevent individuals with known violent tendencies from harming others. The system, it seemed, had failed Ashlyn before she ever even met Ethan. The defense team requested a psychiatric evaluation, arguing that Hunsaker was legally insane at the time of the crime. They said he suffered from hallucinations, delusions, and suicidal ideation. Yet, Ashlyn's story did not fade. Her case inspired community vigils, advocacy for mental health reforms, and a wave of online activism. Her name became synonymous with the importance of awareness of red flags, awareness of the limits of mental health services, and awareness of the dangers of trusting too easily. As of today, Ethan Hunsaker remains behind bars. He offered no apology, no explanation that could ever justify what he did. His actions were a violent expression of a deeply broken mind and a chilling example of what happens when dangerous people go unchecked. Ashlyn, on the other hand, is remembered not for how she died, but for how she lived. Her memory lives on in the hearts of her loved ones, in the stories told by friends, and in the movements sparked by her tragic death. May her legacy push us to be better, safer, and more vigilant, so that no one else has to suffer what she endured. Ashlyn Black's tragic death was more than just a murder. It was a wake-up call. A reminder that mental illness, if left unchecked, can lead to devastating consequences. A plea to reassess how we handle red flags in domestic abuse and mental health cases. Her light was extinguished far too soon, but her story continues to shine. Through advocacy, awareness, and reforms, her memory lives on. Let her be a voice for change and a symbol of the importance of safety and compassion. Always remember, even one small choice, like meeting a stranger, can change a life forever. Ashlyn deserved more. She deserved to live, to love, and to be safe. May we honor her by demanding a world where no more lives are lost this way. Rest in peace, Ashlyn. You are not forgotten.